Well, well, well. We just stopped in Van Horn, Texas. We had clear skies for the most part from El Paso to Van Horn, which is a little over 100 miles. We're about 10 miles, 15 miles down the road from Van Horn now, and the weather is starting to sock in. It's getting foggy. There's plenty of snow on the trucks coming from the east to the west. So we might have to be stopping here in a little bit. About 93 miles up the road, roughly, is Fort Stockton, Texas, where I was planning on going for my next stop anyway. So, it's depending on what kind of snowfall occurs, what kind of weather we have. We might get to Fort Stockton and stop there. Turn on sure our lights are on. Not exactly a good thing. I mean, technically, we're already at every little bit of rain, snow, and ice and fog that we encounter along the way is going to slow us down even more. So, not exactly not exactly going to be as smooth as I was hoping. I thought all this freezing cold weather, because it's now 25 degrees. We started at 40 degrees in El Paso. Now 24 degrees. So we are going to be slowed down even more than before. So like I said, we're already a day behind from when we were supposed to pick up. So we already started with that negative. I knew the weather was bad for us by the time we got to Tennessee. And then every point north and east of that, I knew we were going to have a problem with that. But this is coming on a little bit sooner than I thought. So you can see the frost and everything else on the side. Mile marker 168, I-10 in Texas. Traffic is light, so we're okay for that. The fog is not too bad. I still got about a quarter mile of visibility, so we're fairly okay with that. Why does this plow not have any lights on? Put some lights on so I can see you. I mean, the lights on the front don't do any damn good if you can't see them from the rear. Yeah, state highway not doing their job properly. Expediting addicts. And that's probably the best thing you can do. I mean, I'm from the Northeast. I have a lot of experience in driving in the snow and the ice and whatnot. So my skills, I'm not too worried about if they come into play. But if it gets to a point that I determine that it will be coming into play where those skills will be needed, I'm getting the heck off the road. I mean, I'm not gonna take any chances. But we're always learning. But I guess I'm of the mentality, if I need the skills, they're there. But I never want to be in a position where those skills will be necessary. It's like putting chains on your tires. They're there to get you out of a situation, never into a situation. So we got about 88 miles to Fort Stockton, which was going to be my next stop anyway. Let's see, and we have a rest area 14 miles ahead and 60 miles ahead. Let's see here. And stop. Of interest, my route. And we have the Walmart in Fort Stockton. You know, those are really the only places. You know, we got one or two other places. If we need to pull off on a ramp to wait it out, we will, as necessary. But I'm just going to roll on nice and easy, not trying to push it. So we're doing 65 right now. If it gets any denser, I'll slow down more. I got my lights on. I do have two amber flashing beacons at the rear. No, this is I-10 in Texas, southern Texas. Well, getting more to be middle Texas. Let's slow down a little bit more here. Bring our speed down to 55 here now. One could mistake this for Wyoming very easily. Mile marker 173 here in Texas, Salt Flat, Texas. Mile marker 173. We are eastbound. We left Van Horn, Texas, just about not even 25 minutes ago. Behind us, we did a load check there after we left El Paso this morning. Like I said before, we're a day behind already because the crane canceled for Wednesday morning. So we went from Wednesday morning at 1 a.m. to Thursday morning at 1 a.m., Los Angeles, California. Thursday, we got out to Ehrenberg, Arizona. And then we got ourselves to El Paso last night. Today, I was hoping to get to Seguin, Texas today, but I think the only good morning, sir. I think the best we could do is getting up here to Fort Stockton, but we'll evaluate. You know, it's never it's the weather. It's going to change. So we got a truck right here we're coming up on. Of course, big white truck, big white van, as most of them are. So it makes it hard to see in this kind of environment, but they're running with their flashers on, which, that's fine. They go a little bit slower. It is foggy. We have more flashing lights than most. I have my top lights, my beacons on the tractor itself that I use when I'm doing oversized loads. I got them flashing as well right now. I have amber lights flashing on the back of my load just because I'm overhanging the rear by almost 4 feet. So I got flags. I got a flag on the back. I got flashing lights on the back already. So I got the ones on the top of the truck itself flashing just to be as visible as I can. My lights are on. We're good to go. The road surface is fine. We're not getting any kind of slipping. There's no ice. There's no accumulation on the road itself. Temperature is now 23 degrees. We're doing about 62 miles an hour. We still got some spray. This truck here has shown me that it's still wet. They've had the salt trucks out, so that's helping. There's enough heat in the road surface already, along with the salting, along with all the vehicles that are still going down the road, that constant friction with the tires, putting some heat into the roadway constantly. So if that keeps going and the temperature doesn't keep dropping, we should be A-okay. We have a possibility of this in the 60s. And this morning when I got it was at 40 degrees this morning. The further east I've gone, and the temperature has been dropping, so now it is 23 degrees. So we are, like I said, the road is fine right now. But like I said, that could change. That could change very, very easily. But we're going to keep our foot off the brakes. We're going to keep our truck as straight and true as possible. The less turning we do, the better. That's why I'm not getting into the right-hand lane. I'm staying in this lane. I'm not going to be switching lanes with conditions like this more than necessary. Nobody's coming up to try to pass me. So we're good. So we got roughly an hour, a little over an hour and 20 minutes to get to Fort Stockton. A little under 80 miles to the Pilot Flying J there. And hopefully we'll be able to find a parking spot. And everybody's bunching up here, so I want to slow down a little bit more. Slow guys being passed by slower guys, or slower guys being passed by slow guys. Then I'm a little bit faster than everybody here at the moment. You know, I have a better ability to pass them. My truck is longer. My wheelbase just for the tractor, not the trailer. The tractor is longer than almost every one of these aero trucks out here. So I am a little bit more stable just as an inherent quality of the truck. 2, my truck itself is also heavier than these aero trucks. Like the CRST guy, I'm a good 3,000, 4,000 pounds heavier on the truck, not the trailer, but the truck itself, than he is with a good 3 conditions on the road than he is. And that's pretty much the standard size of the vast majority of these these modern aero trucks. You know, the Cascadias, the T680s. Taking it easy. We're not trying to rush. We're being nice and safe. We're being very attentive to what's going on. Do not brake. That's the mistake that causes accidents. Do not brake when you are in conditions like this. If you have to brake, get off the road. If you're that afraid of driving, get off the road. You take your foot off the brake. You keep your vehicle as straight as possible. You be smooth and consistent. That is what will keep you safe. If you feel that you have to be hitting your brakes all the time, you need to get off immediately. Driving in winter conditions is not inherently, it is not more dangerous than driving in the clear, dry, hot roads during the summertime. It's not. Safe. Excuse me. Right, Los Angeles, middle of summer. Most people would think that's a very safe set of conditions and location for just drive like you want. But no, you will have the Santa Ana winds there. At any point in time, they can blow up, and you have really dangerous driving conditions. Here we are, mid to southern Texas. We really should not be having this type of weather, but we do. So, all these guys here doing the right thing, getting off the road and waiting it out. If their skills don't match up to what the road's going to allow. These other guys out here, they either have the skills and the ability, they feel safe enough to go, or they're reckless. And you can't tell just by looking at them. You need to get over into the slow lane. You're going to go slow. It's not a difficult task. All right, well, I will get over since I want to stay to the south anyway. I don't know whether you're going north or you're going south. You're going on I-20, you're staying on I-10. I don't know. See, thank you. You know, there's if you're going to I-20, you should have been over there earlier. You should have been putting on your turn signal earlier. And this John Christner guy is, I mean, hopefully he's got the skills for the situation, but he's going, you know, he's accelerating just a little bit too fast for my liking. He needs to be a little bit smoother on it. So we're getting some sticking. Unfortunately, we're getting a lot more crud up on the windshield. We're going to go through a heck of a lot of washer fluid. These RVs should have protected their homes there a little bit better. Stayed off the highway. So mile marker 188, Balmorhea, Texas. Plenty of water is still being kicked up from the from this truck in front of me. So we're not going to worry about it. Snow is fairly dry. So we are still at 23 degrees. The weather here is affecting the signal for the cell phone here. like I said, the weather, the freezing fog we have right here is affecting the cell phone towers. So it's affecting how we're connecting here. So here we go. Jones Draw. So in other words, a Texas word for a ditch, a creek, a crick, a trickle of water. No water in it, but there you go. Troyavale, Fort Davis. Yep, frozen Texas. Here we are. Mile marker about 193. We got about 67 miles to Fort Stockton. Long this lasts, we may or may not be stopping in Fort Stockton for the night. If we do, we will make the appropriate, phone calls and saying, hey, weather has sucked me in. I'm not proceeding any further because that's not safe. And we will go from there. But as long as the road remains okay, visibility, if it gets any worse than this, we will slow down. We're not in a rush. We're not trying to make any land speed records here. We're going to go safely as we can. Balmorhea, 16 miles. Like I said, we were hoping to get all the way to Seguin, Texas today, but that may not be possible. I mean, it is depending on where this breaks up at. Depending upon the road conditions and the weather, we may have the ability to get where we need to go. All right, so accident, nasty, rear ending, going too fast for the conditions. I mean, we're doing 50 miles an hour, and that's about the limit I want to go. All right, get away from these guys over here now. For the most part, I'm staying in the left lane here because that's the safer thing to do. I don't want to be switching lanes constantly. Plus, if you can see the have a little bit more snow, but it's freer of ice. It's a drier path than the right hand lane where more vehicles have gone over that. Temperature has gone up to 24 degrees. KC. Like I said, we're not trying to rush. We're just making steady, deliberate progress. We're not trying to get there, as it were. We're trying to get there, but we're going to do it with a little bit of sense. The only reason I'm passing this guy now because I have a clearer lane and the road is perfectly straight. I would not be passing that guy on a curve. We got flashing lights on the roof. We got flashing lights on the back. All of our other lights are on. We're moving at a good, steady pace, not switching lanes, not weaving in and out. Nice and even, nice and consistent, nice and straight. We got a vehicle up here, maybe a little, either a minivan or an SUV or a hatchback. He's got his lights flashing on. This John Christner guy behind me is getting a little bit too close. Hackberry Draw. But that's like I said, that's the thing with wintertime driving. It's no different than driving in the summertime, with clear, warm, dry roads. You still need to keep your vehicle as straight as possible. You keep off the brake until you are ready to stop. You don't turn erratically. You don't weave in and out of traffic. You make yourself visible. You drive within the means of the vehicle, the driver, the weather, the road, the traffic. He should really have his lights all the way on, not just his four ways. But all the same rules apply, like I said, whether it's August or February, whether it's sunny and clear or foggy and cold, and near freezing. The same exact rules apply to driving on the road. Slow, steady, legally, responsibly. If you do those things, you're really not going to have that much of an issue. I mean, I don't go over the speed limit unless the situation absolutely calls for it, because that's the safer thing to do. I don't weave in and out of traffic. I pick my lane, I stay in it as much as I can. I get in my lane that I need to be in 2 miles before I need to be in another lane, or on an exit, or in a turn. That way, I am prepared as much as possible to be where I need to be. And unfortunately, too many people don't do that. They weave in and out of traffic. Hey, I got to be first. I got to be first. I got to be first. Oh, I'm running late for my meeting. I got to go there faster. Well, no, you don't. Slow down. Take your time. Go safely. Pass safely. And you're good to go. Like I said, nice and straight. Nice and steady passing. Bang. Pass safely. Mile marker, 200. It may look a bit messy here, but I have good, steady purchase. The snow is not really adhering all that much. We don't have a big wind. The fog is clearing up a little bit. So we're doing good. Temperature is still 24. We're coming up on 4 vehicles up here with a 5th a little bit further up. Road is cambering to the left here a little bit, so it's going to help us around the curve. Like I said, it's leaning a bit to the left. We don't have to steer as much. We're keeping our wheel as straight as possible, keeping the pressure on the accelerator nice and even. We're not going up and down. We're not getting the wheels to spin. We're not hitting our brakes. Nice and smooth. And that's the key to driving, period, in my book. I've taught people how to drive. I've taught people how to drive with tankers. Not semis, but, liquid in a tank, moving back and forth and sloshing. Taught them in the summertime, taught them in the country, taught them in the city, taught them in the wintertime. Slow and steady. Even. Be consistent in everything you do, and it works out a lot better. It's like here, nice and straight. Keep ourselves well positioned. We are nice and visible with our flashing lights, our headlights, our marker lights. Passing on the straights only. We're not going to be passing people on a curve. I don't like passing on a curve when it's clear and dry. Always pass on a straight. Try to always change lanes on a straight, never on a curve. It doesn't make you safer. All right, so 57 miles. To Fort Stockton, Texas, where I've been at least 3 times that I can remember. We will be stopping for fuel at the bare minimum. 2, we're doing a load check while we do that. 3, we're going to be checking the weather with a little bit more detail, a little bit more, watching what's going on ahead of us, over approaching San Antonio. So we'll see what the weather's doing. These guys are moving along pretty good. A little bit of snow on some of the vehicles, or a little bit of frozen fog. So, but not too bad by what I'm looking at for the vehicles that are heading westbound. This guy should have his lights on like a knucklehead. He doesn't. He's a hot shot driver, but apparently he doesn't understand the rules of the road. No lights on his trailer, no lights on his truck. Like a moron. Oh, I can see just fine. What about the other person who may not be able to see you because of prevailing weather conditions? Turn your lights on. It's like, here, we got this curve. I could accelerate and pass this RV towing this Jeep Gladiator. I'm not going to. I will wait till it's a curve, till it straightens out, and I have a clear, straight road before I even attempt to pass it. And I'm using my GPS and the distance that I can see up here to determine whether that's going to be possible. But he's accelerating a little bit, so he's taking advantage of the straight to accelerate because he feels safer there. But I'm not going to get right behind him. I'm going to stay over here. Pardon me. Like I'm saying, my whole point of staying here on I-10 was to avoid as much of this as possible. Unfortunately, Mother Nature has a different time schedule, a different set of priorities. Now, had we gotten loaded Wednesday morning at 1 a.m. instead of Thursday morning at 1 a.m., I would have been past this. I'd have been in Ehrenberg, Arizona all day Wednesday. I would have made El Paso. I would have made El Paso Thursday night. I would have made it here to Seguin, Texas yesterday night. Friday night. And today, I would be worrying about getting from Seguin, Texas, through Houston into, another accident right there. So I would be stopping in Louisiana today, away from the snow and ice. Now, that still would not have done anything for up in Tennessee and up in Virginia and Pennsylvania and whatnot. But I wouldn't be in this mess right here in Texas. I would have skipped. This would have come in behind me, and I wouldn't have had to deal with this here in Texas. I would have actually been able to bypass it. But the crane canceled, so I had to wait 24 hours, and that puts me in this situation. But that's trucking. That's the weather. That's just the way things happen. So we got a good convoy of trucks up here. We are not switching lanes here. The road, according to the GPS, is still nice and straight. I mean, little tiny turns, little bends in the road. I'm not too worried about, but I want the road as straight as I can have it. For the most part. The straighter it is, the better it is, the safer it is. So we got 50 miles to go to Fort Stockton. Exit 259, Monahans, towards the hospital. County Road 18, Texas Road 1053. $55 miles an hour. Temperature is backed up to 25. So I think we are going to be A-OK. I don't think we're going to have a big need to stop for the day. Another 50 miles up the road. It is a little bit lighter up to the northeast. So I think we will be A-OK. We should hopefully still be able to keep going on out to Seguin, Texas tonight. We'll be a little bit later getting out there. But we should be A-OK. We've been on the road for almost 3 hours this morning. You're not in tow. You're not in tow. You have no license plate on that truck. Get the heck off the road. Maybe the thing snapped on him or something. I don't know. All right, we got a bunching up here. Don't be hitting them brakes. That's the worst thing you can do. That person merging on the highway in that pickup needs to learn how to merge properly. We got a guy changing lanes up here because we have a guy sitting in the fast lane, in the left-hand lane, not going fast. He needs to get out the way. If he's not going to be passing people, he needs to get over in that right-hand lane and ride along with everybody else. Not hang out over there. Pecos, Texas. Get out the way. Get over in the slow lane. You're not going to be going fast. This is a dangerous person right here. Not riding in the appropriate lane. Come on, jackass. Look in your mirror. Get out the way. There you go. You need to learn how to properly operate your vehicle. If you're not going to be passing people, stay in the non-passing lane. Man, he's got a death grip on that wheel. You need to get off the road. Oh, now he's getting off the road. Why were you in the fast lane? That causes problems for everybody else. If you're not going to be in the passing lane, don't be in the passing lane. Get over where you're supposed to be. If the weather is making you nervous, if the road conditions are making you nervous, get off the road. There's nothing that I'm carrying or that any other truck is carrying that necessitates you putting your life in danger or putting someone else's life in danger as that guy was doing. All right, about 45 minutes up the road is Fort Stockton. I think we'll be A-okay. I mean, it's a bit lighter, like I said, up to the north and northeast. We're heading eastbound. The road conditions are pretty dang good considering. We are in the oil field, so there are blow-off preventers still lit up. So it is a little bit on the undesirable side, but as long as everybody keeps their vehicle straight, they don't do squirrely things, we should be all okay. Nice and smooth and easy. Don't rush it. Don't hit the brakes. Stay in the appropriate lane. Be consistent with your speed. Pardon me. But other than that, not too bad of a day. Like I said, once we get up here to Fort Stockton, we're going to reevaluate. I'm going to put fuel in the truck. We're going to reevaluate what the conditions are ahead of us. Then either we will stay there or we will proceed down the road. Here's this guy in this Cadillac. Why do you not have your lights on? Huh? You need to put your lights on. There's no excuse. He's got his daytime running lights on, the little LED things up in the front, but no tail lights on. The tail lights are what's going to save you in case of bad weather and a possible accident. Little LED, decoration lights up in the front ain't going to do you any dang good. We got this flatbed in front of us. He does not appear to be passing people, so maybe he needs to be over in the other lane. The Sandia Draw. Here we are. Another little low point in the land where water collects. And a little bit slippy on the bridge there. Pardon me. But definitely when we get up here to Fort Stockton, we need to put on some long pants because I'm in my typical attire, in my typical shorts. Because I refuse to be uncomfortable. I'm going to drive in the most comfortable manner so that my attention is not on, my body's discomfort. It's on the road where it belongs. It's focused to be as safe as possible. And if I wear shorts and I'm comfortable all day, why not? I'm not a country boy. I'm from Baltimore, right? I like the country. I like country music. I have no problem milking a cow or riding a horse, but I'm not a cowboy. I'm not a farmer. Even though that was my nickname when I was really, really young, like 2 and 3 years old. I used to be called Farmer because I always wore overalls. I was always digging in the dirt. So they called me Farmer. Yeah, we're getting better road conditions up here, so I think we'll be okay, at least for a little bit. But when I get out here, I'm going to put some boots on. I'll put my overalls on, put on a jacket, because I don't want to. I have no need to be uncomfortable. I mean, the wind isn't blowing, but definitely I'm going to put some boots on at a minimum. But if the wind isn't blowing, 25 degrees is not that uncomfortable to me. All right. Road conditions are getting a little bit better. 41 miles to Fort Stockton. Fill, load check, and we're going to check the weather ahead of us. There was precipitation on the radar, past Fort Stockton a little while ago. This freezing fog was not shown. There is weather watches. There are fog advisories, so that was known. But other than that, we are A-OK. So we're back up to 65. Just going to leave our cruise on right there. And we'll see how the road is doing. And looking up at these trucks and vehicles ahead of me, water is splashing off the tires. So that gives me indication of what the road surface is doing. Very dry snow mixed in with that as well. So we're good to go. Here he comes over with no turn signal. Why could you not use your turn signal? This is a reckless moron that I don't want to have on the road. Changing lanes without a turn signal. Mile marker 221. Well, let's turn our topic to something that's always a little bit more interesting than me rambling on and whining and crying about the road. I've done enough of that already. Almost an hour of that, so I think that's enough. Dinner time. We are doing a live stream for dinner tonight. I have a choice of what I want to do. Either some Asian grilled chicken, the second choice, fried chicken with mashed potatoes, so like I said, Asian grilled chicken with rice and peas and egg. Kind of like a fried rice with some drumsticks that have been marinating and grilled. Fried chicken, gravy, mashed potatoes and peas. Three, chicken and dumplings. I believe I have everything I need for that. Or four, a nice hearty ramen. Hard-boiled egg, baby bok choy, seaweed, grilled chicken, some pan-fried chicken, thrown in that. So of those four choices, I'll see what I feel like when I get there. Sunday dinner. Uh, Sunday dinner may or may not happen. There's a couple of things going on which may make it happen or not happen. We will have to see. One is the weather. Two is a bit of a personal thing, which may or may not interrupt it. So we'll see. We will see. So a little bit of accumulation on the road here, but here we go. But we're okay. But last night, I had potatoes and eggs with a little bit of bacon for dinner. That hit the spot. When we got to El Paso, I did an Instacart order. A dozen eggs, baby bok choy, butter, ground pork, some drumsticks, which I actually thought I had ordered thighs, but it came out as drumsticks. Chicken taco seasoning, which I didn't remember even hitting the button, but I guess I never really did. But I can use that little pack of McCormick seasoning. Not a big deal. $1 something isn't a big deal. What else did we get? Butter. Let's see. A dozen eggs, two things of butter, baby bok choy, peas, the chicken, we got some ground pork because I got ground pork so I can make some gyoza. I have the gyoza wrappers, so we are gonna make some fresh made gyoza. I'm not making the wrappers myself. All right, everybody's moving into the driving to my lane here. So there is a truck up here in the median. Traffic is slow coming from the east to the west on the other side of the highway. So we're going to slow down here a little bit without our brakes. Because we don't know what these people here on the right-hand lane are going to do. And I really don't want to be next to them right where this truck is spun off into the median. Pecos County line. See this carrier or Crete truck moved over. Because this little mini vehicle up here is going very slow. And they got the cones up in the roadway, so we're gonna got a little bit of slipping here. So we want to accelerate as easily as we can. This guy's letting us in, but he should have stayed consistent with his driving. We are going uphill. Looks like he hit his brakes. I'm sure he's shaken up, but he appears to be safe, so we are good. I'm sure the emergency crews have been contacted and will attend to him as soon as possible. A little bit slick. We are climbing the hill a little bit, but as long as we stay consistent and even on the fuel, well, not on the brakes at all, but consistent on our application of power, we should be a-okay in a straight line to move along. This little Scion XB is causing a little bit of an issue. Really needs to get off the road. A little bit too light for conditions out here. And I wish I was in my truck with my CB. I could be warning some of these people, hey, watch out for here, watch out for there. You know, I'm coming up on your left side. Be aware. Right now I'm using my beacons on the top that I normally only turn on for when I'm doing heavy haul. This is the worst conditions on the road here so far. Put the phone down, jackass. That guy in that flatbed's on his dang phone in his hand. Oh, Lord. This guy here's got a load of copper ingots, so he weighs plenty enough. Driving a day cab. He needs to get around this van trailer here a little bit faster. Bring her down into 13th gear here. Bring her down into 12th. Or, I'm sorry, 13th. We were in 14th, brought it down to 13th. Nice and smooth on the acceleration. We're still going uphill a little bit. And just about right here, we are starting to flatten out. Nice and easy acceleration. Shift in the 14th. Not going to gun it. Going to move right by this guy with smoothness and stability. We're going to keep it even. We are 30 miles. Temperature is 25 degrees. Okay, we are around that guy. I have smaller vehicles that want to go a little faster, so we will get over out the way at this point in time because both lanes are pretty even in their condition. All right, shift up into 15th gear, almost 40 miles an hour. Road condition is a little bit better here. We're going to put it up into 16th gear. $45 miles an hour. So a little bit rough in that one little section there, but okay. All right, like I said, we got several options for dinner for tonight. Pardon me. 50 miles an hour, put it down to 17. So Asian grilled chicken with a fried rice, egg, onion, peas, rice, soy sauce, a little bit of black pepper. If I had some garlic, I put some garlic in there. We have some green onion. We have some baby bok choy. We have celery. We got that last night as well. I don't have any more carrot, but I do have some. I have one serving of mixed vegetables. So I can put the mixed vegetables in the fried rice. Then I can throw the chicken I have marinating in soy sauce and black pepper. I'm going to put that on the panini grill and really crush that flat and grill it really hard. This truck up here is going really, really slow, so we're going to move around them. Nice and easily moved over. Road conditions have gotten back to where we had that truck spin out at. But nice and easy, nice and steady. Be aware of what's going on the bridge. The bridge is going to be a little bit colder on the surface, so you have a little bit more. This guy's got a military load right here. And so, like I said, I can do the fried rice with the grilled Asian chicken. We do that tonight. We can do fried chicken, a little bit of flour, egg, salt, pepper, a little bit of spices. We got some instant mashed potatoes. We have peas. We have mixed vegetables. I can, make a little bit of quick gravy. Or I could do chicken dumplings. So, 5 or 6 of those drumsticks in the Instapot. Water, spices, celery, onion. Throw that in the Instapot. Boil those down. Add some cream or add some milk. Thicken it up a little bit. rest areas are not that full. I mean, it looks like it's less than half full from what I can see. About half. Like I said, we can do the chicken and dumplings. I could even just do a ramen. You know, grill a couple pieces of chicken, do a nice, good ramen, nice and hearty. Chicken on the side, a hard-boiled egg or two, seaweed, some vegetables, some baby bok choy that I can lightly pan fry and grill with a little bit of soy sauce, give it a little bit of color, a little bit of flavor. Put some garlic paste in there. Put some sauteed onion paste in there. I think we could do that. We could do that. We have green onion. We have yellow onion. We have baby bok choy, peas. Like I said, couple of eggs. Really, you know, make it a really heavy, rich meal. I could do that, and I won't be dissatisfied with any of those choices. I would not be dissatisfied with any of those choices. All right, we got accident up here. A flipped over truck looks like. We're going to give ourselves plenty of room before in front of this pickup here. So we got 2 truck lanes. Get over nice and easy. So yeah, here we go. Don't like seeing that at all. Now, it wasn't exactly a new truck. That was an older truck. So that leads me to believe that's an owner-operator, or it's an owner-operator who hired another driver. All right, roads are getting a little bit clearer here. So we'll put her back. We'll put her back up into 17th gear here. We're going to get on the drier lane because we are coming up on slower traffic. And my initial thought right now is Fort Stockton's going to be pretty well full for parking. We are still at 25 degrees, so that's good. A little icier there on the bridge, as expected. So if we didn't have weather, we would have been in Fort Stockton already. We would have filled and then moved on. But we can't control the weather. We cannot control the road conditions. We cannot control the traffic. We cannot control anybody else except for ourselves. So we will figure out what seems to be the best possible thing to do, and we will do that. And the best possible thing to do is typically the safest thing to do. So if needs be, and we're going to stop here in Fort Stockton for the night, we will call up to the Walmart saying, hey, truck stop is full. The roads are very bad. May I park at the Walmart? It should not be a problem. I think they have enough common sense to say yes. Go ahead and park up here. Park out the way. Hopefully, if we absolutely need to do that, we will we'll make that phone call to the manager to make sure it's okay. So we're at 45 miles an hour. The lane I'm in is a little bit drier, a little bit better condition than the right-hand lane.